I'm really happy that we all can agree that Avatar: The Last Airbender is better than Legend of Korra. That's just a fact. Most people can't argue against that because it would be stupid, right? It would be one of the dumbest things to try and argue against. But you know, the internet never fails. You know, we never run out of dumb fucks on the internet saying this type of nonsense. I recently saw people hating on Aang, and can we all agree that the hate for Aang is 100% forced? Right? Most people who hate Aang are Korra fans. You know what I mean? And it's so pathetic. So I'm happy that most of you watching this, we already agree because we actually got good taste. We're not like these starving ass individuals that love Legend of Korra so much. We are delusional enough to believe that this show is peak fiction. It's like, what? What are you talking about? No, it's not. It's a flawed mess. Right? And most people with active brain cells can admit that it's a flawed mess. It's okay to admit that. If you admit Legend of Korra has its flaws, you know what happens in the future? You have a greater chance of not running into the same problem. You have a greater chance of the writers identifying what was wrong with the show and fixing it, you know. But again, that's the problem with the Legend of Korra fanbase. Instead of constructively criticizing their own show, instead of doing that, they try to pick fights with what came before it. And it's such a disrespectful, ungrateful way to look at things. You know, how could you hate that face? Look at him, bro. It is crazy to me how those fans, they're like, oh yes, I'm surrounded by garbage, this is amazing. This is how they act instead of criticizing Legend of Korra, you know, and it just is what it is. Anyway, so the reason why I'm bringing this up is we all know Aang and Appa are literal best friends, right? They're like family. Appa is like the last family Aang even has because of what happened to all of the air nomads and everything. And remember when, you know, he got kidnapped, he got stolen by the sandbenders, and like Aang was super angry. You know, I'ma just play like a quick piece of it.
How could you let them take Appa? Why didn't you stop them? I couldn't! The library was sinking! You guys are still inside and...
It's a subtle little thing, but a lot of the time Toph doesn't actually look at the person she's talking to.
Okay, so this isn't the point that I wanted to make. This is from overanalyzing Avatar's video, right? But the point I wanted to make is this. The fact that Aang yells at Toph and he kind of blames her is what I saw people on the internet using as a reason to shit on Aang as a character. They're trying to say, oh, he's such a terrible friend and he never apologized, right? I fucking hate that you know, he treats his friends like this, as if Korra doesn't do that shit all the fucking time. Like, Korra does that multiple times in her show, where she has these emotional outbursts, yelling at the people around her, saying some really hurtful things to people like Tenzin, and she doesn't really apologize. And whenever she does, in the next season, she just does it again. So fuck you and your dumbass take, bruh. I just think that's so fucking stupid that you think it's not justified for Aang to be in emotional distress and have an outburst at his friend. Like, at the end of the day, right? What's his name? Overanalyzing Avatar made a good point here where, okay, so I'm gonna play it right here.
Look at the person she's talking to. I guess you wouldn't see the need, considering the whole eyes don't work thing.
You just didn't care! You never liked Appa, you wanted him gone!
This accusation isn't totally without merit, actually. Pretty much the only time we've ever seen Toph talk to or about Appa in Aang's presence was when she said this.
If there's anyone to blame, it's Shetty over here. What? You're blaming Appa?
So it's a great point. It's a great point in the show. They're trying to be consistent with their writing. But you dumb fucks somehow try to take that and use it as a way to hate on the main man. It's stupid, and I disagree. So y'all, if y'all agree with my takes on this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And yeah, I want everybody else to have a good rest of your day. Later.